Happy Friday! I got a 7 Brew Blondie coffee, sugar-free with almond milk. So good. My hair is everywhere. But I just want to talk about a topic that I feel like people go through, but they literally just always kind of don't deal with it, or they accept it for many reasons. But narcissistic people will never remember the things that you do for them, but they'll always remind you what they have done for you. So if you have anyone in your life, whether it's parents, siblings, family, friends, anyone, just remember that it really doesn't have anything to do with who you are. It's more about who they are as a person, because they will always be the victim. They will always be the person who is being hurt. They will always be the one who, I do everything for everybody and nobody does anything for me. That's just always going to be their mindset. So if you're trying to fight with that person or justify it or argue with them, you're not going to get anywhere, because those type of people are never going to admit their wrongs. They will do everything and anything to you to hurt you, and then look you in the face and tell you that you're the problem. It took me a really long time to come to terms with people like that, because I have so many in my life. And I have, stopped talking to friends. I've had boyfriends like that. I've had just like family members in my life that are like that and still like that. And I used to be a person that was constantly fighting back. And then as I got older, I just learned to just realize that those type of people, you're just never going to get anywhere with them. And you just have to basically realize that that's who they are. And you don't have to accept it. You don't have to be around them. You don't have to go along with it just because they're related to you or because you feel like they're family and blood, so you have to. No one's entitled to that abuse. Nobody should have to feel that type of abuse from someone. We could all sit and write a list of all the things that we do for everyone, or like all the nice things that we've done. But if you're doing that, then you're not doing it because you genuinely are a good person. You're doing that because you want a pat on the back all the time. So you don't have to be like that person. You don't have to be like them. You don't need that. But my thing is, though, is that, unfortunately, I don't have kids. So, I can't speak for people and parents and things like that, but I do know that if I did have children, some of the things that I wouldn't do to them is make them feel like it's a privilege to live in their home, a privilege that you feed them, a privilege that you put a roof over their head and clothes on them. You literally gave birth to a child. That is your job. I don't understand people who go through life and sit there and like tell people that they owe them for those things, or they should be, well, you're the one who chose to have children, so why throw that in their face? There's just a lot of narcissistic people in the world, honestly, and it's actually sad and scary at the same time. But I feel like as you get older, it's great if you recognize it as an adult, and you can either go to therapy or not accept it or deal with it anymore. It's definitely hard, because again, like, especially if those people are parents or your parents or siblings or somebody really close to you, it's definitely hard. But just realizing that you don't want to be like that as an adult, and you would never do that to your kids, and breaking the cycle is just so important, because there's just a lot of toxic people in the world, and I just never want to be that person who would do that to my own children, or just be constantly throwing stuff in someone's face over the things that I do for them. I do have to say that I find comfort in knowing at the end of the day that you can be a liar, you can be a narcissist, you can play the victim, but the truth always comes out, and God always sees what's going on and knows the truth. So those are some of the things that help me in my mindset, because I know that at the end of the day, people can say and do whatever they want, but God knows the truth, and what happens in the dark comes to light. So it eventually always comes out. So if you do have people in your life like that, just know you're not alone. There's a lot of people who do, and I hope that it gets better for you, and I hope that you learn to cope with those type of people and realize that it's not your fault, and there's just some really not so nice people in the world who do those things, and it has nothing to do with you. As long as you continue to be a good person with good morals and you know the truth, and that's all that matters, is that you can live in your truth. And if you were to die tomorrow, you know that you went out of this world knowing that you were being the truthful one. So I feel like, I've just experienced a lot of people like this. Unfortunately, it sucks for me. But I also try to set boundaries, and I don't know. I just think that it's unfortunate, but that's kind of the hand that you're dealt, so you just deal with it. But again, I do find comfort in the fact that I know that the truth is there. It's just, if you're waiting for an apology, if you're waiting for that person to wake up one day and decide that they know that they were the liars and this and that, it's not going to happen. So just you have to let it go. You have to learn to let it go, because they're not going to ever admit to the things that they do, or that they're wrong, or that they hurt you, or they were the ones doing things. I mean, I have so many stories that I could tell you about people that have done things to me, but again, they will never tell that side of the story. They're always going to be the victim. They're always going to be the person that was the hurt one. They'll always be, it wasn't their fault. You're crazy. You're this, you're that. But I believe you, and I know that most of that is not true. So that's all. I'm gonna go into TJ Maxx and do some last minute Christmas shopping, and I hope everyone has a great Friday. The sun is shining wherever you are. Hopefully it is. And I hope you have a great Friday. Bye.